Welcome to my video if you're watching. So basically in today's video, I'm pretty much going to talk about my experience giving birth at 31 weeks. So today is June 15th. So my baby just turned 3 weeks yesterday. It's insane that we've come this far already. I've been wanting to make this video for a long time. I haven't had much motivation right now to be recording with everything. This mess right here, excuse that please. I'm not in my room right now, so I'm in her room right now, so I can't walk up the steps still, so I can't really have a nice background at the moment. I did have my baby, so if you have been watching my videos, thank you. My baby wasn't due until July 23rd, July 18th, around there. So she wasn't expected for another month. Technically she should still be in my belly, but she's not. She didn't want to be. And I basically just want to share her story because it's just so amazing, and I feel like a lot of people even listening to this story is gonna be like, wow. It's pretty much insane how God works and his miracles, and she's literally our miracle baby, and like through him is because she's still here. And I am just like, me and my boyfriend are just so blessed to even have her right now. And it's just like, I can't even explain it into words. So if you have kids, like, I feel like you would kind of understand what I mean by that. But anyway, let's just get to the story. I basically I was in 3rd trimester already, so I was going to my every 2-week visits with my doctor. Excuse the dogs. And so one day I did go in, and she basically told me that I had high blood pressure. So what I did was, they had to check it again. They checked it 3 times, and each time it was still high. So I think the 4th time that they checked it, they were like alarmed already, because they had, moved me from, they told me lay down on the bed, just rest, calm down, and then we'll check your blood pressure again. And this is the first time that I go to my doctor's office and I have high blood pressure. Or anything out of the ordinary. I never had anything like that before going in that day. So then she checked it and it was still high. She's like, rest for like 10 more minutes, and then we're gonna go ahead and check it again. So my OB actually sent me to the hospital, basically said that she didn't want me to work anymore and told me to go to the hospital. So that day I called my boyfriend, told him to come pick me up, and basically that we had to go to the hospital, that way they can manage my blood pressure and it could go down. So I got to the hospital, checked in, registered, and then they called me in, and I went to this room where they were monitoring my blood pressure. Hopefully it became stable and I could go to home within a few hours. It was getting a little bit more steady, but it was still pretty high. So I was in this room with a couple of nurses, basically wanted to stabilize it, and that way I could go home within a few hours. So that day was a Tuesday, and I ended up having my daughter the very next day. So it was just crazy. We had her in the morning. But anyway, finally a doctor comes in and checks on me, and he says that he wants to keep me stabilized overnight just to see how I do. So I had to stay at the hospital that night. So I thought I was going to be able to go home in the morning. But later that day, they had transferred me to just my very own room, since I was going to stay there that night. And I could not get out of bed. I had to pee several times on a what was it? It was like the little bucket that they put under you so that you could pee, or if you have to go to the bathroom, like the bathroom, you have to go in there too. It was so uncomfortable. Like that was probably one of the most uncomfortable moments being there. It was not it. Like I was so uncomfortable. I was like, I just want to get up and go to the bathroom on my own, but I couldn't. And I had a nurse coming in every like 2 hours or maybe every hour to come check up on me, take my blood pressure. And I was okay. And then during the nighttime, I started having contractions. Like I could feel the cramps coming in, but they were getting stronger. And I was like, these are contractions. Like this is not normal. Yeah, the nurse basically told me that I was having contractions already. It was nighttime. And so she basically gave me 2 pills to take in order for the contractions to go away. And the pain. So I took those. That didn't work. So they did put me in IV. They put me on a medication through the IV. That way they could stop me from going into labor early, basically. And that one did work. I was fine for a while. I would say for like the rest of the night. And then very early in the morning, I woke up. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning. And I was okay for like, I would say 5 to 10 minutes of the time that I was awake. And then I started having contractions again. But this time it was so much stronger. Like they were strong. And I couldn't have any type of medication. In my case, it was either they were gonna have a meeting of how the baby was doing in there, because they did do an ultrasound that morning on the baby and her reflexes, whether she was responding to certain sounds or certain noises that they were doing. I had this little monitor they would put on my stomach, and they would do what, like they would press a button and it would like kind of shake on my belly. And I guess that was they expect a certain reaction from the baby when they do that, but the baby wasn't doing any of it. I mean, so she basically passed a couple of the like the sensory type of movements, but she didn't pass some of them. So they were kind of worried about her in there and how her movement, her activity. So at this point I was still I was having contractions, and then they would go away, and then I would get them again. And then this was like probably around 8ish, I would say. From 8 to like 9, my contractions went up so much, and I literally, like, it was nonstop. Like before, like around 6, from like I would say 6 to 7 or 6 to 8, they would come away. Like they would come and then they would go away. They would come and then they would go away. But at this last hour, it was just nonstop, and I was in pain, and I couldn't take any medication. So they basically told me that I was pretty much, what it seemed like I had was preeclampsia. So yeah, they were doing lab tests and trying to see if it was that. Yeah, it turned out to be that I had preeclampsia. All my doctors, they informed me that they were gonna have a meeting to see if they were gonna either just have me wait to deliver, or if they were gonna have to deliver me right now at the moment, because my case was very, very riskful. So they basically didn't want to harm the baby. They were gonna have a meeting, and then I don't think they ended up having that meeting, because by, I would say, like 10 o'clock, I had like the whole room filled with like 10 doctors or people just everywhere in the room. And they basically told me and my boyfriend that they were gonna have to do an emergency C-section on me, and we were gonna have to deliver the baby that morning. So this was Wednesday morning, the following day of, when I went to the hospital. I was freaked out. They had told me the night before, and they had been telling me that morning that they might have been delivering her that day, but they were gonna do everything they could to not have to. So it went from that to, no, we're gonna have to deliver the baby now. In like within a span of 10 minutes, it was like, we're gonna have a meeting to see if we have to deliver, to we're going to deliver. Because yeah, it was already, I guess my placenta had been 85% detached from our baby, so she was not okay in there. They had to take her out. She was losing oxygen, obviously, and so they had to do a C-section. So when I say that they decided that they were going to deliver her right then and there, they literally grabbed my bed, moved me to the to the room that they were gonna, have performed the C-section on me within a span of like maybe two to 3 minutes. I was in there. They were telling me, I'm right here with you. The nurses were very, very great. The doctors were amazing. I was just laying there like barely even able to process what was going on. They had me remove my jewelry. They had me, they were putting IVs on me and doing all sorts of things. It was definitely an experience. I don't want to go too much into detail, but yeah, everything that they did was very, very fast. And so I was moved into the room. I was not put on any type of epidural. I was put to sleep right away. And when I woke up, I was in another room with, I don't even know where, and with nurses, and my mom was right next to me, and they were just telling me to eat a lot of ice chips. To eat a lot of ice chips, and that was gonna help. And I just remember waking up and feeling so disoriented, and I was just like, where am I, And then the second question I asked was like, where's the baby? I mean, my mom told me that the baby was downstairs with her dad. So at that point, I was just like, I didn't know even how to feel, what to even ask. It was so, like, you don't even know what to think at that time. You're just like, what? Like, where's the baby? Like, what happened? Like, this and this and this and that. So it's like, you're just there, like, what in the world just happened to me, After that, they had put me in my room separate. The room that I was staying in, that one, I could receive visitors. So it was just, and I put a clip of me, probably, I think it was like the first or second day of me in the hospital. I'll enter the clip right here. Hi everybody, welcome back to another video. So, oh my gosh, I look swollen. This is like the first time that I'm seeing myself right now. Yeah, I am currently at the hospital. It was crazy. Like, we literally had our baby at 31 weeks, and she was so tiny. I didn't get to see her until the second day. So luckily my boyfriend was able to go see her every single day. I wasn't, but he would keep me informed and show me pictures. And our baby was very, very tiny. And when I say that this is proof that God works in such amazing ways, she was so tiny, and she had all these tubes and the oxygen tube, obviously, and her IV, and it's crazy. The second or third day, I was able to hold her and do skin to skin, because I know that that's really good for her. I was able to do that for her, and just thankfully she wasn't born with any like health problems. She was just obviously very premature, and her lungs were underdeveloped, obviously. So yeah, that was the only thing with her. To this day, she hasn't had any serious problems. So her thing has always been just needing to grow, gain weight, sleep, eat. Yeah, within a week of her staying at the hospital, like, she had a rough start. So within a week, I was very hesitant on putting this out there, but keep in mind that when she was first born, they basically told my boyfriend that she was born, like, when they took her out, she didn't have a pulse. So she didn't have a pulse. She looked blue, like they were doing everything that they could to basically get her pulse back on, like back, and thankfully they were able to. And it's just amazing to me. You know, I had lost a lot of blood, so they did have to do a blood transfusion on me because my blood, like my bleeding wouldn't stop. So yeah, I lost a lot of blood, but thankfully they were able to do what they could with me. The baby, like, I hold so much respect for doctors and nurses, and I look at them so differently now because of our experience there at the hospital. And I'm just so thankful to every single person that was there helping our baby, that helped our baby, you know. The first week that she was born, she got off those oxygen tubes on her own. We are 3 weeks in and she's gotten off her oxygen tube. She's gotten off her IVs, like all of that. The only tube that she has right now is her feeding tube, and she is not an incubator anymore. They took her out of the incubator and have her in the crib as of yesterday. So she's so strong and she's so inspiring, and she is just so fearless, and she's literally a tiny 4-pound little girl. We're so proud to even be her mom, you know. We're so proud of her. Look at her and we're just like, she's literally a miracle baby, and she's amazing, and she is literally nothing is ever gonna be a problem for her. She's never gonna have a reason for her to say that she can't do something. Next step is for her to just be home, and we pray about it every day. Every time we go visit her, we're praying for her to come home already. Personally, with a C-section, you know, I'm 3 weeks post-op and I'm doing good. So I am able to walk on my own. I'm here, I'm there, I'm moving. The only thing I will say is, like, just take it easy. I feel like I haven't really been doing that, so I really need to do that. But as a mommy, it's hard to have to leave your baby at the hospital every night. The one good thing is that they do have cameras, so you can check on your baby throughout the day. I just want to say thank you for watching. As of today, she's doing amazing still. She continues to surprise us and amaze us in every way, and she's just a strong little girl. And she is proof of literally God's blessings and how real they are. And I mean, his work on her has been proof that he just does wonders. If I'm talking really low, I'm sorry. I just have really low energy right now, and hopefully by her due date, which was in July, she is home, or hopefully before that. Definitely didn't let us prepare for her arrival. She wanted to be here already. She wanted to meet her parents already and her family. So we never got to have a baby shower with her. We didn't get to do our maternity pictures with her. We're just beyond blessed. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.